In order to harvest good quality bamboo that you can build with, you need to have a healthy clump. And today we're going to go over exactly how to keep our bamboo healthy so that it could produce large, thick culms for us to be able to build with. The number one thing to focus on to keep your bamboo healthy is to keep adding fertility. Bamboo is a shallow rooted plant. Its roots tend to not go down deeper than 2 or 3 feet deep down into the ground, and it needs to be fed constantly since those roots are close to the surface. So what we want to do is occasionally, about maybe 2 or 3 times a year, come in, bring in some native soil and begin to mound it at the base of the bamboo. You'll see in some areas down at the base there are these fine root hairs that when you mound the soil, if you mound some compost or whatnot, those root hairs can begin to root out and be able to access more fertility and more water for the bamboo plant. And this is what we need to do to also help expand our clump and to ensure that we have nice, big, thick culms growing year in and year out. Now that we've fertilized our clump, we want to begin to shift our focus onto the culms themselves. And I recently took a course with Bamboo U out of Bali, who's running a fantastic online course all about bamboo and how to build with it, which I encourage you to check out at bamboou.com. But they described a method on what to look for on how to manage the actual culms here in your clump. And so there's an acronym that they use, BSBOD. We're going to start by checking out and seeing if any of the culms are broken. If any of them are broken, we're going to pull them out. Any culms that are small in diameter, they look kind of puny, they're not as big as the other culms, and this happens from time to time where just a small shoot springs up and it's not going to do anything for your clump. We can go ahead and take that out now as well. Perhaps there are bent poles that are really misshapen and just no good for the clump and no good for what you're going to do. You can go ahead and pull those poles out. Then we got the old poles. Good harvestable bamboo is between the age of 4 to 6 years old. After that, it gets a little bit too old, and it just can perhaps breed a disease. So you want to pull out the old and diseased culms before they become a problem, and then that way we have the space for the culms that we want to be growing. And we think about the clump in terms of generations here. Each culm that's coming up out of the ground is like a branch from a tree. And so you have a baby culm, and then you have a second-year culm, which is like the teenager culm. And then you have the third-year culm, which is the parent culm. And then the 4th-year culm, which is the great-grandparent. And so every year we are selecting the great-grandparent when we go to harvest. And that's kind of how we want to be able to manage the clump for peak production, for being able to harvest for what we want to use the bamboo for. And lastly, to be able to sustainably manage our clump, we want to have it intermixed with a variety of plants. If we were in a plantation setting, or even just like right here in my own backyard, bamboo, since it's such a shallow rooted plant, it could only soak up so many minerals from the ground. It needs help to be able to get more water and more nutrients from deeper down. So we want to plant plants that are deep rooted near the bamboo so that they can help bring those nutrients up to help our bamboo thrive. And the great thing about bamboo is that it gives back. Bamboo soaks up so much water when the times are wet and moist. And when it's dry, bamboo actually releases some of that water. And it goes out into the landscape to the neighboring plants that are perhaps experiencing drought at that time. And so it's a way to self-water your garden and to help drought-proof what you already have growing. It's a really cool feature that bamboo has to offer. So now we know a little bit more about how to sustainably manage our bamboo so that we can have continual harvest of primo grade lumber bamboo so that we can build amazing things out of it. This is the beginning of a series of videos where we're going to learn a lot more about bamboo. I'm going to be building a structure here real soon and going step by step with you guys on how I'm doing it, from preserving the bamboo, harvesting it, drying it, to building with it. And it's going to be fun, so I encourage you to subscribe and check it all out. All right, everyone. Aloha. Till next time.